Hi, we are from Country Concessions and in Cookstown, and today we're going to tell you about a brand new improved tool called the 6.5-inch Triangle Square Up Plus. So the Triangle Square Up ruler has been around for many years, but the Triangle Square Up Plus is just a new addition. What makes it better is that it has these little slots in it so that your rotary cutter will fit in and you'll be able to cut your dog ears off with no trouble at all. The ruler comes in 3 sizes. There's the 6.5, there's the smaller 4.5-inch version, and there's the larger 9.5-inch. So what this tool does is it will square up your half square triangles. Half square triangles are an integral part of quilting, and this makes it easier for you to get them perfect and accurate every single time. It comes with complete instructions, of course. And as I said, it's by Eleanor Burns, Quilt In A Day, and that lady has done more for quilting than you can imagine. So here's the instructions. Of course, it's got a chart, and they're very thorough and accurate. She also has information online that you can search and find a complete demo if you need to, or more information. The first thing they show you how to do is to make multiple half square triangles at a time. So you take 2 pieces of fabric and put them right sides together. I've only got 1 here, but you're supposed to use 2. And you can see on here, you draw lines from corner to corner on the diagonal, and you sew 1/4 inch away from those lines. Then, as you can see, all these lines I've drawn on here are your cutting lines. So if you cut on each one of these lines after you've sewn the 4/4 inch seams, you'll end up with 8 half square triangles. You can see this is a bigger size, but you can see how that would work. There's my seam there, and that one would have been there, and so on and so forth. So you end up with 8 half square triangles from 2 squares. So it's a really quick method to make them. But sometimes once you do that, they're not perfect and they need to be trimmed down. So your half square triangle, when it comes off of that, or if you don't use that method, just any half square triangle, is going to look like this. And it's going to have these ears on it, and it's not necessarily going to be straight and accurate. So what you do is you keep it folded in half, and you refer to your ruler. It's got full inch increments on one side and 1/2 inch increments on the other. I think we're going to make this one to 5 inches just so you can see what we're up to. So you line up your 5-inch line with your stitching line. So where your stitches are, your seam line, you put your 5-inch line on the ruler on that, and then you simply put your rotary cutter in. You cut on the slot, you cut up, you cut down, and you cut the slot again, and that will give you a unit that looks like this. So you can see the dog ears are off, and it's a perfect half square triangle. You open that up and press it to one side, and you have a perfect half square triangle. The dog ears are gone, nicely done, and it's exactly the size it needs to be. The other thing you can use this tool for is 1/4 square triangles. A 1/4 square triangle is this guy right here. And how you do that is you take 2 half square triangle units and you put them light to dark, right sides together. You nest the seams so you can feel the seams matching up with your fingers. You draw your lines the same way you would on a half square triangle across the seam line. So this is your drawn line from corner to corner, and these would be your stitching lines. Once you stitch on those, you cut that apart, and you can see there's your half square triangle. You can use the tool exactly the same way to trim that down. You just leave it folded in half. You can't see the line on there very well, but there's your stitching line. And I believe this guy is a 3.5, or that'll work for us. So you match your stitching line the same as you did regularly, right across your 3.5 mark. But then you use this line here. You can see my stitches are there. There's also a line on the ruler, so you line up the stitching line and the perpendicular stitching line so that it's going to be a perfect half square triangle. Again, you cut off, put your cutter into the slot and cut, and then up, down, and into the other slot and cut, and that will give you a half square triangle that looks like this. Sorry, a 1/4 square triangle. You can see the doggy ears have been clipped off. You open that up and press it. If you're clever enough, press that open. You'll be able to twirl your seams, and you have a perfect 1/4 square triangle. So that is how you use the Quilt In A Day Triangle Square Up Plus tool. It's fantastic, and you'll be so happy to have it in your collection of rulers. Have a great day. Thanks.